What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, rest assured, Marvel Studios 100% knew it was not only going to be confusing, but leave fans with a ton of questions when they unveiled that Robert Downey Jr. would be going from playing its founding iconic hero in Iron Man to probably its most infamous villain in Doctor Doom. And to highlight this, when the announcement was finished being made at San Diego Comic-Con and right before they left the stage, Kevin Feige even teased, "Does anybody have any questions?" Proof they knew that's exactly all that anyone would have. The only clue up until today was we knew for sure it was Victor Von Doom, not a Tony Stark variant. But we just got our next official clue about Doctor Doom, and it came from none other than the Russos themselves. We're going to break it all down, what the Russos just revealed about Iron Man and Doctor Doom. But first, I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video. Now guys, I've always felt like part of the whole package of looking good is smelling good too. And that's why I'm so happy I've paired with the sponsor of today's video, Scentbird, an affordable subscription service that provides you a brand new scent every month. Look, there's this thing called nose blindness. It's when you use the same scent over and over again. And I know you guys, like me, we find one thing and we just ride it out forever. So there's a really good chance if you use cologne at home, you've been rocking that same cologne for years. It's time to switch it up. And that's one of the problems that Scentbird solves so easily. You can simply pick your fragrance every month. If you want to repeat, that's up to you, or you can grab a new one and keep it fresh. And with the price of cologne and perfume these days, it is such a great option because not only can you switch it up, but you're not stuck with this huge bottle you paid a bunch of money for if you don't even like the fragrance. Plus, they come in these really super convenient sizes where you can actually take them on a plane, which is again something you really can't do with a lot of retail bottle sizes. And they have a really convenient magnet structure so you can put the brand new scents in there. This month I tried Perfumology's Boutique. It's a scent I was familiar with, but they have so many different fragrances that you're definitely going to find one or many that fit your style. So go ahead and scan the QR code or use promo code ALWAYS to get 55% off your first month's purchase. You get your first fragrance for just $8 and then $16.95 a month after that. Again, all you got to do is make sure to use the QR code or use promo code ALWAYS to get 55% off your first month. Go ahead and get a subscription to Scentbird and start smelling good today. Now, the Russos have been out on the press junket for Electric State and extremely candid about Avengers Endgame. It was only a matter of time before we got a new detail or two, and this major bombshell revelation stemmed from a question asking them about introducing Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom and how or what that would have to do with the fact that he already played Tony Stark. In response to that, they confirmed that Doctor Doom will be connected to Iron Man's death. Quote, "We can't explain that as it's part of the story, but there's nobody else in the world who could have played this character the way he's about to." Okay, so this officially rules out anybody who was in the camp that thought they might actually just have Robert Downey Jr. play Victor Von Doom and not acknowledge that it's the same actor. Maybe there would be heavy makeup for his scarring on his face, or maybe they wouldn't even acknowledge it at all, just the same guy playing a completely different character, as does happen sometimes in cinema. But we know now that's not the case. There is a reason why Victor Von Doom is going to look specifically like Tony Stark in From the 616. And some people have speculated that he's not Tony Stark at all. One of the prevailing theories that originated on Reddit and sort of has some grounds to it is that what we thought was Tony Stark all along, this was actually a variant of Victor Von Doom, and that the kid that Tony Stark knows his parents were actually pregnant with that we saw in the flashback scene from Endgame was Arno Stark, who ends up passing away after birth, so they adopt a kid from, say, Latveria. That's Victor Von Doom. He grows up believing that he's a Stark. He was never a Stark at all. And while the whole thing sounds admittedly tremendously Game of Thrones, you have to admit that it would explain why he's playing Victor Von Doom now, and they do look the same. It's not a variant of Tony Stark, it's a variant of Victor Von Doom. But that isn't without problems, because all of a sudden you undo everything that Tony Stark did during the Multiverse Saga as being meaningful. You retcon his entire backstory. It wasn't Tony Stark at all, and I think there's a real risk when you do that, especially with an iconic character like Iron Man, of running afoul with the fan base. And considering they took the route they did in casting him as a different character as to not mess up Tony Stark's legacy, you would assume they wouldn't want to do that. But doesn't this sort of mess up Tony Stark's legacy? I mean, Robert Downey Jr. obviously is taking a huge risk by returning and with a different character, but so are the Russos, and by recasting Robert Downey Jr., aren't they all the ones responsible for tying it back to the Iron Man of it all in the first place? So where does this leave us with an Iron Man that we know passed away in the 616, and now a Victor Von Doom that looks like him, and somehow they're connected, but not variants of the same character. And I think most likely the case is that Iron Man was simply the anchor bean in the 616. Not that every variant that looks like Robert Downey Jr. across the multiverse is an anchor bean, because we already know that Wolverine was the anchor bean from his respective Fox universe. And while we all assume there will be some sort of deep-seated connection as to why they look the same, I think just more importantly, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man passing away, losing that anchor bean, is what destabilized the 616 and set it on a path to dying, as was made canon by the dialogue during Deadpool and Wolverine. And what it may be revealed is that behind the scenes, and one by one, Doctor Doom has been systematically killing off all of the anchor beans to lessen the strength of the multiverse, so it's easier for him to conquer Loki and eventually become God Emperor Doom, sitting on that exact same throne that Loki is sitting on right now. And here's the real truth, because we're going on almost a year now, or getting closer to a year since the announcement. Every single fan that I've talked to in real life, that I've seen out either while I've been traveling or around where I live locally, when I run into people who recognize me from the channel and we get to talking about Marvel Studios and Doctor Doom and Robert Downey Jr. coming back, there hasn't one person who's been overwhelmingly like, yes, that was absolutely a smart move. I see the vision. I get it. Most people at best are confused, and at worst think that this was a terrible, terrible idea. And the Russos, Kevin Feige, Robert Downey Jr. himself, they know what a risk this was. Surely they thought of every single pro and con and weighed this all out. And to me, the fact that they went forward with it tells me that they definitely found gold, because otherwise, why take the risk of ruining what you had already built? And of course, now that it sounds like there may be some deep-seated connection there, really it would just be an extension of Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark story to find that Tony Stark was somehow indelibly connected to Victor Von Doom. It's basically writing the legacy of two characters, if there's a connection there, from the same person's point of view. An enormous risk, but something that definitely gets me more excited the closer that we get. Guys, let me know all your thoughts though down below, really in reaction to all of this, because it is a bombshell now to know that they are connected in some way. And of course, fire off your best theory. It doesn't happen often at the channel, but there have been times where we've gotten a comment so good, we've made a video on it. And if you're thinking something close to that, I'm all ears as always. Let me know down below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button to keep up with the videos. Of course, if you like today's video, hit the like button. Again, huge shout out to Semper. All you got to do, hit the QR code or use code ALWAYS. You're going to get 55% off your first month. They're your one-stop shop for smelling good, and thanks to them for sponsoring this video.